Hi all. For today's notable game, let's continue our theme of the week, which is the Grand Prix attack. I found a particularly sweet game today to show you. This game was played in the Telecom Open in Czechoslovakia in 2001. Playing white was Ozren Biti, who was 2-3, 2-7 at the time. His opponent was Matej Vyparina, who was 2-1, 4-4. Ozren Biti is currently an international master. His opponent is currently a FIDE master. We see e4 from Ozren, the Sicilian defense, knight c3, knight c6, and now the classic Grand Prix attack, f4. Black here plays the move g6. This is actually the main move in live book. In this position, knight f3, bishop g7. And the two most popular moves are bishop b5 and bishop c4 here. Bishop b5 is actually a little bit more popular in live book. An example continuation like this, you might think it's a little bit weird, but white can just ignore that bishop, let it be taken. And there's lots of games from this sort of position where white's given up basically the light square bishop, but has quite a well coordinated position and good grip on central squares here. So it's a very different strategy to what you might expect. But here, bishop c4 is also popular. And we see e6, and now a very violent move. And if you remember the Fischer game, f5, yes. This f5 pawn sacrifice. And here it doesn't even seem to do anything for the bishop on c4, because surely black can take with g takes f5. There's a weakness of the last move here. The h5 square has been neglected. This pawn structure has the strength in that it keeps a queen away from h5, but here h5 has been compromised. Is that enough for the pawn sacrifice? We see d3, knight d4, white castles, d6, and then white just goes straight for the jugular here with knight g5, threatening already e takes f5 to try and tear open this diagonal. It's a very tricky position for black. You might also consider, can the knight just be kicked back? Black actually played knight e7. Let's have a quick check. Instead of knight e7, could black have played this? Knight takes f7 might be tempting here. This position, but it might actually be okay. This possibly should have been the way black could have played it, although it's a little bit tricky. Say queen e8 here, queen g4, bishop e5, bishop f4. White has mobilized the rooks and probably has an easier to play position from a practical perspective. But technically, yeah, black might be holding the balance. So after this knight g5, maybe h6 should have been played, in fact, to evict that pesky knight. Just encouraging knight takes f7. I'm not entirely sure black can actually, if white can actually do better in this line than this. Queen e8 or knight f6. Knight f6 might allow queen g6. This position, apparently, this is turning out to be a little bit better for white. White might have some prospects going here. The king looks compromised. But anyway, the knight wasn't evicted. Sometimes it's a good idea when a knight's on the 5th rank to try and get it away. But black played knight e7. And now very direct play. The queen just comes out to that h5 square, hitting f7, threatening knight takes f7. And if black castled, then there's queen takes h7 mate. So knight g6 was played. Now white has a beautiful attacking position, and he just plays the natural e takes f5 to try and blast open this diagonal. Black plays knight takes f5. Is black solid here? Not really. Can you see what white can play in this position? If I give you 5 seconds starting from now, what would you play with white? Black is as solid as a sandcastle. Knight takes f7, smashes through black's position. The king's still in the centre. full king, queen and rook. Now, if black takes, then we just have that pinned pawn there to exploit. Queen takes f5 check is really quite crushing. This is horrible. You know, if bishop f6, we can build up the pressure, maybe with bishop g5. And here also, if queen f6, then queen h5, the queen is pinned to the king. So yeah, black chose instead bishop d4 check after king h1. It seems like giving up already at move 13. Black played queen e7. White wins the exchange. And the attack continues now, bishop g5, and notes that white's rooks are now connected. Black hasn't even got his pieces out. Queen f7. And now knight e4, threatening knight takes d6 check because this knight's pinned. Black maybe was pretty sad by this point about his position and essentially gave up the ghost, really. He actually played knight e5, just basically falling for knight takes d6 check. End of game. Forking queen and king. Yeah, it's pretty miserable to play the exchange down in any case in this position. So yeah, that hastened to the end. If something like queen d7, here actually g4 might be really strong. Where is the knight going? If it goes to d4, rook f7, and we've still got this mega tactic. If queen takes, there's knight takes d6 check. If king takes, take here, take here. Yeah, black's getting torn to bits. Look at the bishop and queen. Black's eventually going to be going into this nightmare. So yeah, black gave up the ghost essentially in the game. After losing the exchange, it was pretty hopeless here. So black played knight e5, knight takes d6, check, and that's end of game. So we get from this game, what do we get from this game? I believe the power of the pawn sacrifice to get the h5 square is significant in its own right for tactical purposes. If you can get access to that h5 square for a queen, even if the bishop's not immediately opened up, the f5 pawn break is with some venom, as demonstrated here. I hope you got something from that, and check out the playlist for the Grand Prix attack, which I'll give on the right hand side of the video. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.